This medical program heard from 7 to 7:30 each Saturday right here on WSBR 740 AM is brought to you by the Adult and Geriatric Center under the medical direction of geriatrician Dr. Andy Mencia. Okay, well, we're here.
Let us continue.
That's right. Dr. Mencia was here for the flu shot, but now we're going to do something that's a different kind of a shot in the head.
That's good you say that. I just had a patient with this condition that we're going to talk. We're going to talk about hair loss in women. Now, we know about men, we accept as the men will age that they will lose hair. And that's not always normal. Sometimes a man can lose hair, and it might be due to a fungal infection, stress. They can develop what we call alopecia areata, that also a woman can develop. And it can be stress related. But women can lose hair also. And there's many things out there that we can do. So I decided today's topic should be dedicated to women. And let's talk about hair loss in women.
Well, it's funny you should mention this. I never know what Dr. Mencia is going to talk about, but I was at my beauty salon, and the woman before me, turns out she's 90. I didn't even know that. She looks so good. Her hair was gorgeous, and it turns out that part of the hair is a piece that's been woven in because she had her hair washed and she had this big space in the back of her hair. And I didn't know any of that. But this beautician is so good, that stylist, she just wove it in, and she said that her best friends don't even know that she has that.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So there are things that we can do even with the hairstylist, and there are things that work, there are things that don't work, and it's good for us to bring awareness to our listener. Because sometimes you go to your hairstylist and they might want to sell you things, or you go to the spa and they might want to sell you stuff for hair loss. And just recently, this topic was very hot in the news. We're talking about the research being done on vitamins, specifically vitamin D, because it has shown that vitamin D can be the key to the lack, what we call the receptor, that will stimulate the follicle to produce hair.
Really?
Now, whether this is going to come out in a pure form or shampoo or gel, we don't know yet, or injectable, we don't know yet. But it had been well documented, and that just came out this year, a few weeks ago. The importance of vitamin D and how it can stimulate the receptors and get the follicle to produce hair again.
So this will be for men as well as women?
That would be for men as well.
Okay. Now, women, when they're losing their hair, of course, we know when someone has chemotherapy, of course, people lose their hair completely, right? And is
That's
that
correct.
for men also when anyone has chemotherapy?
Any individual that have chemotherapy will lose their hair.
And why is that? I know it does a lot of things, but why?
Yeah, what we are doing with chemotherapy, we are interrupting the hair cycle. The hair cycle is broken into three parts. One is what we call the anagen, ANAGEN. And in the anagen cycle, that's when the hair is in what we call the growth phase. And 90% of the hair in the head are in this phase at any given time. So 90% of the hair in your head is on anagen, is on the growing process. Then the second cycle is we call the catagen, CATAGEN. And the catagen cycle is that transitional phase, and it can last between 2 to 3 weeks. So the hair sort of go to rest for a moment, and what they are doing in the catagen cycle, they are just picking up strength now. So you get that baby hair growing, and then the baby hair start growing laterally or getting stronger, and then the telogen cycle is a complete rest. They don't die. They just rest.
What's the name of that cycle?
the telogen, T-L-O-G-E-N. So the hair go to rest, and this can last some 2 to 4 months. And only 10% of the strands in your head are usually in the transitional phase or the resting phase. Most of them are in the growing phase, so they are always growing. Hair is always growing. Spend most of the time growing than resting. And
That's why we have to go get our hair cut, right?
Right.
But wait a minute. I'm not letting you go anywhere. So we know it grows this way, but if you have a bald spot up there, it's not growing up there.
Well, exactly. Well, that's where we come. That's where hair loss. And when a woman pull her hair back and part the hair, what she will notice is that that part in the hair, with time, is getting bigger and bigger. And that's how she can detect that she's losing hair. And this is very important. The earlier we detect, the faster we can bring it to a cure. We had a patient that came to see us last week. She was going to Italy, and she only gave me 1.5 months to help her with her hair problem. And I said, well, usually the hair grow about 6 inches a year in most people. So I said, well, I'm going to have to speed up the process because, she was going to Italy. She was going to see her family. And her daughter, that is Italian descent but never been to the country, was going to meet the extended family for the first time. And she said, I don't want to go there with this spot on. She has a huge bald spot in the toward the forehead, and another one toward the crown of her head. So we say, okay, let me try to do some injections to see if we can speed up the process. And lo and behold, this lady, before she left, and everybody in my office, we took pictures of her, and oh my God, this looks so good. And she went to Italy, and she just got back. And the hair had grown so much.
Okay, so what's in the injection? Is this a Dr. Mencia juice
It's a
connection?
formula, yes. It's
I've
that
got
formula.
to be.
It's something that you don't want to try at home. You want to do it with a
Really? I've got 5 candidates that I know already to send to you.
You want to do it with a professional, and when it comes to a professional, you want to do it with a doctor that is into this. That is not somebody that is just flying by. This is a person that is into this, that is there to work with you
and done research, and you understand what you're doing. It's very important.
That's right. That is correct.
Now, before we go, we got to tell you who you should do it with. This is Dr. Andy Mencia, right?
Mencia, yeah.
Andy Mencia.
Pencil Talk.
Pencil Talk Radio, and the phone number to call him for an appointment is 954-489-1345. 954-489-1345. I have to stop for a minute and tell you.
And we are open on Saturday.
Open on Saturday.
And we got the flu shot.
Got the flu shot. You got a beautiful woman sitting here who's going to be there, right?
With some shoes that are killers.
Oh, she's gorgeous. But really, I was at a seminar yesterday, as a matter of fact, at Greenlands, and there was a couple there that said, oh, they told me all about the flu shot. They know everything that you say. And, of course, this other... I mean, they come... Every time I see someone, they tell me about the things that you just said. So I know he's going to come down there. He doesn't live...
And some of the patients that come, they say, oh, the topic on...
I know. They all listen to what you say. Anyway, he is coming to see you. I have his name somewhere, but I don't have it now. But anyway, go back to the hair, because this is amazing. Amazing.
You will lose up to 250 strands of hair. And when you start losing, more hair, so let's say most people will lose about 50 to 100 strands per day.
Okay, strand. Now, okay,
yeah, sorry about
that. See that? No, it's my hair screaming out at you. Yeah. Screaming out at you. I have to ask you a question about that. This one little teeny strand, and I'm going to lose 50 of those.
You're going to lose 50 to 100 per day. That's normal because remember, you're going through a cycle.
But I don't see them. I don't even see them fall out. Where are they?
Well, when you comb your hair,
yeah. They're in the brush.
You look at the brush. Sometimes in the clothes, sometimes in the pillow. When you wake up in the morning, You know, so
are you
you're
losing
always gonna
hair too?
We all are. We all.
You
should
have
be
such
losing.
a gorgeous head of hair. I don't.
Thank you.
I don't. Are you using shots on your head?
Not yet. No, I had to start doing. Oh, I did some shot in the back. Yeah,
Did
I have
you really?
Diana. Yes, because I developed a small area of alopecia, and thank God, Diana is always there with me, and she's a physician also. And my hairdresser told me, "Oh, you have a small spot back here," and we look at it and we say, "Oh, it's a tiny alopecia." So it was two of them. She injected the first one, and my hair grew back. And now yesterday she gave me my second shot.
This is very exciting stuff.
So this
you never
is stuff
told me
that I
about
do
this
myself.
before.
Yeah, we don't talk about hair loss usually.
No, but this
especially
is
us guys.
no, but this is fantastic stuff.
So normally in a normal situation you lose about 50 to 100 strands of hair. When you wash your hair, you can lose up to 250 strands, which is not a lot. You're talking, thousands upon
Maybe I
thousands
shouldn't
of
wash
hair.
my hair anymore.
Which, if you wash it every day, you're going to be losing a little bit more.
Wow.
And what are the signs that you should be looking for that you are losing hair? Usually when you wake up in the morning, if you see a large amount of hair on the pillow, that's indicative that something is wrong. You have to get looked at. And you can take a mirror and look with the mirror and just grab your hair and lift it up and let it fall, line by line, and look at the hair to see if you see a big open spot. That's called the alopecia areata. If you see a circular spot in there, then the hair that you see in the pillow can be coming from there. Also, again, you pull your hair back like in a ponytail, but parted in the middle. And in a woman, you will see in the center of the part of the hair being part, that area is really big. You see a lot of the skull when you look at the mirror. And you can put the mirror on top of your head so that you can look forward, and it's easier to see. Because sometimes when we are looking at people, we see they are looking at your face, but if they stand up, they are looking at your head. And they can see the area. People won't tell you, "Oh my God."
Do you want to look at my head while we're sitting here? Look at my head.
Oh, you have a full spot. You have nice hair.
Do I have any holes in my hair?
No hole in there.
No holes in my hair. I just have white. I do have white hair that I, of course, have my hair colored. But my parents, see, this is hereditary. My mother, everyone had
you do color your hair?
Oh,
my
you're
God,
so bad. Oh, he's so bad. Right. I'd be all white if I did. But no, seriously. So it's also hereditary, isn't it?
It's also absolutely.
You're going.
Yes,
I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead of your notes.
It is hereditary. It is hereditary. So the average car has about 100,000 hair, and you can lose 50 to 100. So it's not a lie, and you are reproducing. Each follicle produces a single hair, and it grows at the rate of half an inch per month. So that's how hair grows. So, there are stuff that they will give you out there that say make hair grow faster. You have to be careful with that. You don't want to be using stuff to make hair grow faster. You want to use things that will give you healthy scalp and healthy hair. The way to look at the hair, I always like my analogy.
I love your analogies.
It's like a garden. It's a garden.
It's a garden.
Because in a garden you have flowers, right?
Oh.
But if you don't water the ground, right? If you don't
they
take care
die.
of the ground, those flowers, they're going to die
Yeah.
on you. So the hair, if you don't take care of the skull or the skin, and the skin is dry and you don't take care of it, you don't shampoo your hair, you use strong conditioning, you use strong coloring on your hair, a lot of ammonium, and, because they are colored, they are different type of, when it comes to hair coloring, like when you go to the school where they do coloring, you have to ask what kind of coloring they are doing. Some people go to the to the school to get their hair color, and you want to know what kind of color are you using on my hair to see what's the concentration, how much ammonium is in there. If it's a very strong color, it can damage your scalp. It color your hair, it gives you a nice color, but it can damage the scalp. So you have to balance it out. And there are other colors out there that are more expensive, but at least it will not damage the scar. So it's basically when you have that garden and you take care of the soil, the flowers, they're going to look beautiful. They're going to look very healthy.
This is a very interesting topic because I happen to have a relative in my life, and she started losing her hair. She didn't have, there were no reasons for it, but I think her father was bald. Does it come from the father or the mother? How does that work?
Well, when it comes, there's a genetic component to it. That's why it's a good question that you asked before. Yes, there is a genetic component, and usually you want to look at the female side of your family. So if your grandmother or your mother or your aunt has thinning hair, then my grandfather died with a head full of hair.
See? Yeah, mine, same thing with me.
109, and he has all white hair, but full of hair. So
fantastic.
Maybe there's hope for me.
Yeah, there's hope for you, but that's good. but so it's the mother, you're saying, though. It's really the mother.
Exactly.
It's usually the mother side of what happens. Mm-hmm. And so I think, though, am I wrong that probably 10 years ago, there wasn't anything like this? This is new, isn't it?
The hair loss?
No.
The topic.
The stuff that you have. I've never heard of this.
Absolutely, yeah. And, even women go for hair transplant, not only men. There are women that will go for hair transplant.
See, I haven't seen that either
again,
much.
That is invasive. And my philosophy in life, what can we do with Mother Nature before we go to that step? I do not do hair transplant for the audience, so don't come to me for that. I don't do that. That's too invasive, and I try to work with Mother Nature. What can I do for my patient? And one of the things when they come to me, the first thing that we want to do is, of course, listen to the patient, do a good history, find out about the background, the family. Very important is what kind of job they do.
Why is that important?
Because stress is one of the main culprits of hair loss. And, then I ask them to start doing a little investigative work by themselves. Some people have a tendency of pulling their hair. Some people have a tendency of playing with their hair. I have a lady that came to see me, and she has significant amount of hair loss on one side of the head, and normally the woman will lose hair on top here, not that much on the side. And she started doing her detective work, and she said, when I'm in the computer, I am left-handed, so my right hand is always playing with my hair and pulling, and and she was traumatizing, basically, pulling the hair. So it wasn't the typical, what we call the androgenic alopecia, which is the alopecia of women. This was a typical one. So doing detective work in the investigation, we found out that the hair loss was basically produced by her behavior.
So now what do? Do you have to change her behavior? So you send her on to your hypnotherapist?
We send to the hypnotherapy and to the psychologist so that we can work with her and then give her other things to play with when she's in the computer.
I knew we were going to get to sex here. It always happens. It always works. I don't know. We've started with hair in the head and now. Okay.
Talking about hypnotherapy, do you know I saw a patient yesterday that, how people say I outgrew asthma?
Yes.
I have a patient that came to see me yesterday, and she was so grateful. She said, Dr. Mencia, and I have not seen her for almost 8 months. She came in for medical clearance because she was going for surgery, which I canceled, by the way. She wasn't ready. So
we have to talk about that. Go finish this up because I want to hear about that.
So she came, we are talking, and I say, she used to get this horrible infection in her lungs, and we check, and she's not an asthmatic, she's not a smoker or anything like that. But she would get this horrible infection, and she said, Dr. Mencia, guess how I cure those infections? Why I'm not getting any more antibiotic? I said, you probably change your vitamin, your regimen. Nope, I was wrong all the time. She said, your hypnotherapist cured me.
Really?
I said, you must be kidding me.
Right.
She said, yeah, I went to see the hypnotherapy, and when she went for something else. She went for weight loss. And she told the hypnotherapist, say, oh, by the way, I'm getting this infection in my lungs. She said, okay, let's clear your lungs.
Really?
And she said, ever since I am not longer getting those infections. I was so impressed. That was new to me. I learned from her something that I didn't even know, that you can get it done with hypnotherapy.
So it was something that was really mental that she had to work through. That's really amazing. Oh, well, that was...
You know, you get people that get asthma attack. And sometimes if they get if they undergo a lot of stress, they can have an attack. And maybe the chemical imbalance in her, stress will take on a target organ as the lung. In other people, it could be the hair. You go through stress and you will lose the hair, and you will lose it quick. So,
well, I want to talk about hair, but hair on your eyelids for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And I saw one woman. She looked gorgeous. She had all these long lashes. And I asked her what she was doing, and she's using this new medication. But I also read about the medication that's dangerous. No, that could be dangerous too to some people.
Yes, for the eyelid too.
For the eyelid, so I decided not to do it.
No, the product that I have in the office is I do my research. I don't sell, I don't make a living selling product. One of my patients that listened to us in the radio, he said, I've been listening to you and I love the topic. You always bring great topics. And I keep saying, what's the catch? What's the catch? When he's going to start selling me something? And I say, I do not make a living selling stuff. I say, I don't come to the radio to sell any other thing that we have. But the thing that I do have in the office is because I have done my research on what are the competitors. And if I'm going to provide it in my office, I want to provide the best for the patient. And then I always give them the option. I say, look, if you want omega-3, this is what I have. And this, according to my research, as of now, is still the best. If you want to buy it from the outside, you're welcome to. And I even tell them, I encourage them to bring it to me so I can see what they bought from the outside and give them the in and out.
But Dr. Mencia, that's what makes you very different. Most doctors haven't I hate to say that, most don't have the foggiest idea about what anything has the value of the medication, but the supplements.
The supplements.
And you're amazing that
they go, if it's not prescribed, it's none of my business, do whatever you want to.
And that's amazing that you've been like this.
If you look, when I lecture to other doctors, I say, Dr. Mencia, but if I get into that stuff and something happened, wouldn't I be liable then? I say, yes. Why I'm going to put on myself extra burden? Do I need that? I say, yes, you do. You take care of patients.
That's right. You're more liable that the person's going to be very sick.
I'd rather be liable for doing something than be liable for neglecting.
Right. That's who you are. I know. That's what makes you very, very special. Okay. Well, hair loss in women, and I guess we could say it's the same for men. Everything you're saying, you would do the same shot. It's just it's unusual to think about women having.
Exactly. A lot of times we don't think of women losing hair.
Well, there are a lot of women wearing wigs for the very reason, right?
Exactly. One, they might not be able to afford a dermatologist. Two, they can afford a dermatologist. It's in their plan. They have to wait 6 to 8 months to get seen. And, and that's why I got into aesthetic. I love what I do. I love doing artistic work. I love using my hands when I'm, working with my patient. So I got into aesthetic. I got a love for it. I fell in love with aesthetic, and I love what I do. And when I see, 30 million women out there in America.
30 million women
in America
have hair loss? Oh, my gosh. See, this is a very new subject. And most women, as you said, they're embarrassed. They're not going to tell you that, are they?
No,
it's almost like incontinence. It's kind of something they don't talk about.
They just get a wig or wear a hat
or they have the hair that's interwoven, right?
And a lot of time people think, it's mainly in elderly person when they are getting old. And, there's a lot of young women out there with hair loss that they are afraid, to show it. And I had a young black lady that came to see me. And she heard a lecture I gave on hair loss in women. And she came to see me and she said, I came to see you. I want to see if you can do something for my hair. And she wanted everybody out of the room just to talk to me. And I said, it's okay. You don't have, we're going to help you. We're going to do everything we can. And she said, well, no, it's not that. It's that every time that I think about talking to somebody, I have to take off my wig. I couldn't even tell that she had a wig on. And I say, well, if I'm going to look at your head, if I'm going to look at your head, you're going to have to take off the wig. And she said, and she started crying. She said, I'm so embarrassed. And it was such a hard moment for this person. And I say, sweetie, it's okay, get up. And she got up. I gave her a big hug. And I say, I'm here to work with you.
And was it really bad? I mean, what was it? How bad was it?
She had alopecia. We injected her
No,
hair.
but wait a minute. So what happened? She had like spots of hair?
She had spots of hair that she had lost. She was doing a work that was very, very stressful for her. She was being overwhelmed with work. I asked her to see the psychologist. Her boss was very abusive.
Oh, boy.
To her.
And that can really cause hair loss.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying with stress.
So we asked her to go to human resource and try to have somebody change the situation at work.
Wow.
And it was, I mean, we solved a lot of things. And she was so grateful. She said, I'm not so only grateful because my hair came back, but my whole situation in my company now is so different.
You are a very unusual physician.
I have no idea that
amazing.
I have changed the whole company.
No, of course. No, but because this is amazing hair loss. So I mean, we have to really talk about this in the future about why Cohen goes there and does that.
There are so many things that can pregnancy. After when a woman is pregnant, the hair. I love to see pregnant women. I love them. They are so beautiful. You see, the hair looks so gorgeous when they are pregnant, but when they give birth, then they have tons of hair coming down because that huge, drastic hormonal change. So if you are one of those women that go out there and start getting hormonal injection, be careful because if they are giving you a unbalanced hormonal replacement, you might end up losing hair. Thyroid condition can do it. A lot of autoimmune disease, polycystic ovarian syndrome can do it because there is a high level of androgen. And certain skin conditions like ringworms, which is a fungal infection, psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, many skin conditions. So if you are losing hair, come to the center, let us take a look, and let's see if we can do something to help you out. And we do sell wigs. I'm just kidding, no wigs.
Okay, let me
954-489-1345. Yes, we are open on Saturday, and we are located at 1608 East Commercial Boulevard.
And he's wound up again, isn't he? He's fantastic. Oh, that's right. Okay, I don't even know what I can say.
We're going to write a topic. It's all
about
set
hair
up for
loss.
you.
Oh, my gosh.
Beautiful. I'm even going to go into the treatment when we write the topic, from the medication that people are using out there to nutritional deficiency, laser devices. It's going to be a great topic. So look for Boomer Time.
Right.
And it's going to be on Boomer Time. And it's going
so
to
it
be
is an
in
article.
The
It really is an article.
Huge article.
I mean, this is very exciting.
954-489, Richard, 954-489-1345.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're going to be talking on... And now we're going to talk about hearing loss. We go from hair loss to hearing loss with Terry Rodriguez. Just stay with us. Thanks for listening to The Wonderful World of Wellness with Dr. Andy Mencia. Be sure to tune in each Saturday morning from 7 to 7:30 right here on WSBR 740 AM.